Hello, this tutorial is about sorting. So sorting is a technique which is used to rearrange the data elements of an array into particular order, either ascending order or descending order as per the requirement. So there are many sorting techniques available. In this tutorial I am going to discuss about selection sort. So there are various sorting techniques like selection sort, we have bubble sort, we have insertion sort, heap sort, merge sort, etc. So in this tutorial we are going to see how selection sort works. So in selection sort, what we have to do, we are given a set of elements. So what we have to do, we have to take the first element of the array and compare this element with the remaining elements of the array, from second element to the end of the array sequentially. While comparing the array values, we have to arrange the values between elements into order, either ascending order or descending order, whatever the requirement is. So after comparing the first element with remaining elements in the array, the values in the first element gets its proper position. This is nothing but we have completed iteration 1. Now take the second element and do the same process. Repeat the same process. Here this is an example. So we have the array elements 6, 4, 7, 1 and 5. So first we have to compare the first element with the second element. So here the criteria is greater than. If the first element is greater than to second element, then swap these two elements. So there the criteria has been matched. So what we are doing, we are swapping these two elements, that is the element in the first position is coming to 0th index and the element in 0th index is coming to first position. In the second iteration, we have to compare the first element with the third element, that is this element has to be compared with this element. In the third iteration, this element has to be compared with this element. Now here the condition has been matched, so these two elements are to be swapped, that is the element in this position becomes the element of this position and the element which is in the first position becomes the element of third position. In the latter iteration, again we have to compare this element with last element in the array. So this is iteration 1. So after completing the first iteration, the element in the first index, that is 0th index, gets its proper position. In the second pass, we have to take the second element and compare it with the third element. So if the condition matches, then we have to swap these two numbers. Here it is okay. Here 6 has to be compared with third index element, that is 4th. So now these two elements has to be swapped. So third index position becomes first index element and the first index element becomes the index element at third location. In the next iteration, we have to compare the second element with the last element. If the condition matches, then we have to swap these two numbers. So now what we have done, we have completed iteration 2. So after second iteration, first two index elements are sorted out. In the third iteration, the same process will continue. The third index element has to be compared with fourth index element. Here the condition has been matched, so these two elements are swapped and the third index position has to be compared with the last index position element. Here also the condition has been matched, so these two elements are to be sorted. So these two elements are to be swapped. So after completing the third iteration, the first three elements are sorted out. In the fourth iteration, the fourth index element, that is the fourth element, has to be compared with the last element. So here the condition has been matched, so these two elements are to be swapped. After completing 4 iteration, we have sorted out all the elements. This is how selection sort performs. So here is the program. So first we have to declaring an array which is of size 10. There are two subscript variables I and j and a temporary variable and the size of the array, that is n. So we have to enter the array elements and we have to read the elements through scanf statement. So after executing this part of the program, the array will be look like this. So I am drawing an array here. So element at 0th index is 6, next the element is 4, next the element is 7, and next the element is 1, and the last element in the array is 5, and the index values of these elements are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the sorting technique. Here first the I value is equal to 0, which is less than to n minus 1, that is n is total number of elements in the array, that is 5. So 0 is less than to 5 minus 1, that is 4. So here the condition is true, so we are entering into the inner loop. In inner loop, j is equal to I plus 1, that is here I is 0, 0 plus 1. So what j becomes? J becomes this one. So this is our j, and j is less than to n. So 1 is less than to this 5. Yes, condition is true. So what we have to do? We have to test if a of I is greater than a of j. So what is I? This is our I. This is I. So a of I is 0. So 0th index element is 6, is greater than to first index element 4. So condition is true. So what we have to do? We have to store the 0th index element into a temporary variable, that is 6 goes into temporary variable, and a of j, that is 4 has to be stored in a of I, that is a of I becomes 4, and the temporary variable which is 6 is to be stored in j, that is 6. So after this iteration, this will become 4, this will become 6. So the array will look like this. So after first iteration, here 4 comes, next 6, 7, 1 and 5. So next the I value increments. Again this element and this element has to be compared. This process continues till all the elements are sorted out. This is how selection sort works. Thank you.